Hello Mallards, it is Sunday and I am on my way once again to Fringe Art Space to see another show. This is Carrie, the musical, put on by the Daniel Mills kids, and I am super excited to see this show, mostly because I know like little to nothing about Carrie. Like the things I know about Carrie are the like things that everybody knows. That she like gets psychic powers and then there's like a bunch of blood at a prom and I think a bunch of people die. And that's literally what I know. So I will be interested to see the whole story play out. And I love a musical. So it's gonna be fun. It is intermission, and as promised, I'm here to talk about the show. They put posters on the windows, so there's plenty for me to talk about. I loved the first act. It was so much fun. As I mentioned, I know very little about this story, so it's fun to experience everything. I will say that I don't think I've ever hated a character more than I hate Carrie's mother. Oh my gosh. Like, she opened her mouth for the very first time in the whole show, and I was like, I maybe condone murder. Like, she's horrendous. Played beautifully. Alani Herrero plays her. Fantastic voice, great performance. I just cannot stand her as a character. She's got that religious zealot thing that really, I think rubs me the wrong way. But overall, the performances are really good. Everybody in the background, which you know is one of my favorite things, watching everybody in the background, is doing a great job. The girl who plays Carrie, Jordan, is so good. And when the show, like, she has her first solo, which is a song called Carrie. It's about her name and her voice, and it is staged so the students are surrounding her and she bursts out, and that first note, so good. And that whole first bit was so strong. She did a fantastic job. Brooke, who is playing Sue, is also doing really well. I've really enjoyed all of the performers so far. I really like the staging. It's this sort of like bleacher setup, and then they have these two rolling sets of risers that move around, and I might be obsessed with them. I love the idea of the rolling risers, and it's something that I'm not doing a traditional show, but I would want to add it to my traditional show anyway. I'm going to enjoy the second act now and enjoy the people in the background. So we're gonna sit in for Act 2. I'm having a great time. The show is over. I have some special guests. You guys should just introduce yourselves.
I'm Elizabeth. I was Katie in Time Brothers.
I'm Evelyn. I was Heather McNamara in Heathers.
And I'm Jade.
And Jade is just amazing in general. Jade has also played many parts in many shows. Don't let her sell herself short. But the show is over now. I really enjoyed it. It was nice to have Jade here because neither of us know the show. So when Carrie's mom pulled out a knife, we were both like, Meanwhile, these two were like, oh yeah, that's just the way the show goes.
It's such a good show. Oh my god.
I love this show.
Yeah, and the performances were phenomenal. I loved the way that it was staged. They used like red fabric instead of blood, and I thought the effect was really cool. They like put Carrie in like this, you know, like a bubble of red fabric, and then she emerged covered in the blood already, and I thought that was really neat. What else? What really spoke to you guys?
I think Brooke Herrera the entire time was
so good.
And Vanessa, who played Chris, which is also amazing.
Yes, I agree. Chris is a powerhouse, and that is a tough part. The guy who played Tommy, whose name I don't remember, but somebody's gonna love. Yeah.
They did. I also wanted to say I really enjoyed the breathing thing they did.
Yeah.
They did a thing when they died and they all were standing up.
And actually Jordan as Carrie like signaled that they all stopped breathing, and I thought that was so freaking powerful. She was just like using her hand and she went like this and they all stopped. And I had two thoughts at that moment. My first thought was, wow, that was really cool. My second thought was, dang, I can't believe you could all see her hand as you were casting down on foot.
Also, his name is Jaden Richardson. So if you're watching this,
we loved you.
Amazing.
Yeah, amazing. Absolutely incredible. It was all very good.
The destruction was done very well. I want to put that when they were like screaming, and
Oh yeah,
I cried a little.
and they're
I was
all
having a panic
running.
attack.
They're all running to like try and get out of the theater, and they were beating on the walls. It really got the adrenaline going. I was like, I'm sitting in a theater seat, and I'm all like, oh my god, the things are gonna.
It was terrifying.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
They
It was
did
really
the
good.
horror really well.
Yeah.
Which I think is tough on stage, and it's also tough with like this is a very bare bones set. So I think it's tough to like do that, and they carried that very well.
Yeah.
Anything else?
The band. The band was great.
Yeah, the band was good. And it was cool that they were on stage like behind the curtain the whole time. I think that added a fun dynamic and we really enjoyed that. And sadly, you can't see this show, but this is the first of hopefully many productions for the Daniel Mills Apprenticeship Theater Company. And so I will put a link down there to their website. You can check that out. I will also put a link to Art Space. You should come back next week for my show, just to plug. And otherwise, I will see you guys tomorrow. Ready to focus?